Welcome back to WTVA 9 News at 4. I'm Craig Ford, live on the campus of the University of Mississippi. We are here at Ole Miss with the host of MSNBC's Morning Joe, Mika Brzezinski, Joe Scarborough.
Toddy.
You know what? And we found out before this broadcast, this is tomorrow. Ole Miss, Alabama is going to be her first SEC football game.
Yes, it will be.
So we may try.
Lovely.
We may try to touch on that a little bit, but I want to talk to you two about your broadcast this morning. They were here talking politics on Morning Joe on the Square. I know you've got a speaking engagement here in a few minutes here at the Ford Center. You two did a focus group with Mississippi voters yesterday. Some who voted for Donald Trump, some who voted for Hillary Clinton. You even had a Gary Johnson voter. Right. Mika, I'll start with you. What was your takeaway from that?
My takeaway is that Trump supporters that we spoke to stand firm in their support. But if they had other options, maybe some of them. And I also was fascinated at what this president has done to the truth. Because the truth is in question about a lot of clear facts with some of them, and I took that at its word. I found it to be an impact this president has had on his base, on the electorate, that I'm concerned about.
One of the things that I noticed that came out this morning, or let me ask this question. Because of what she said, because of what came out, is this more of a case where just people are going to vote for somebody with the R by their name rather than the D?
Yes, and I think that was my great takeaway from the focus group. I have been wondering, as a lifelong Republican, a guy who served in Congress as a Republican, a lifelong conservative, I always had thought that Donald Trump had completely changed the Republican Party, what it meant to be a conservative. And what I found was that everybody that was in there that said they supported Donald Trump said that they would look at Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, other lifelong conservatives if they ran against him in a primary. So yesterday's focus group was really the first time I said, wait a second, Donald Trump has not changed the Republican Party. Donald Trump is renting the Republican Party for either 4 or 8 years. And then I think we're likely to get back to sort of mainstream Republican values that you saw with Ronald Reagan, you'd see with Mike Pence, you'd see with Nikki Haley.
One of the things you said this morning that kind of surprised me, and I had not heard this, I think it's been general consensus, the House is going to go to the Democrats in the midterms, but you said if things play out right, the expected runoff in the special election for U.S. Senate could decide the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. How likely do you really see that?
It's hard to say because right now there are 10 Senate seats that could go either way. And you could look at whether you're looking at Missouri or Nevada or Arizona, West Virginia. You can name 10 races, Tennessee even, that could go either way. If Republicans and Democrats are tied on Election Day, then we're going to have the runoff here, which is going to be decided 3 weeks later, and you could have, and could be pretty likely if they tie up, that whoever wins the Mississippi race will determine whether the Republicans or the Democrats control the United States Senate. Think about what an incredible moment that would be in Mississippi politics and in the U.S. politics.
Before we wrap up, I know you've got a new book coming out. It's really an update of Knowing Your Value, which I think came out 2010, 2011.
You're good.
Where I try. That's what they paid me to do, which is interesting because basically the gist of it was how women can get what they truly are worth financially in the workplace. What is this new book going to be? How's it going to be different from the original?
When the original book came out, I was stunned at how many women actually used the techniques I shared and got raises. So many women came up to me, and hundreds, thousands of women have gotten raises reading this book. I felt so much had changed, and I had changed so much in the time and learned more that I thought I would develop on all the ideas and all the techniques and bring them more value.
Mika, Joe, thank you both for joining us. We've got more WTVA 9 News at 4 after this.